All right, so today we're jumping into a truly wild story from the Mahabharata. And you've got to love these because it starts with what seems like just a simple family squabble, but it spirals into this brutal, universe-altering curse. Seriously. I mean, just listen to these words. Agni will devour you. Can you imagine hearing that from your own mother? We're not talking about some mild curse, like, you'll have bad luck. No, this is a curse for a horrifying death by fire. She's saying you'll be consumed by Agni, the fire god himself, during this massive snake sacrifice, the sarpa yagna. This one single savage moment, that's the explosive core of this entire story. So, yeah, that brings us to the big question, right? Why? Why on earth would a mother curse her own kids to die by fire? It just seems completely unthinkable. So to figure this out, we've got to go back. We need to see how a simple little bet went so wrong. All right, section 1, a mother's savage curse. Let's dig into the story behind this absolutely unthinkable act. So believe it or not, this whole thing kicks off with two sisters, Kadru and Vinata. And just like so many family dramas, it starts over something really small. In this case, it's an argument about the color of this incredible divine horse named Uchchaisravas, a horse that literally came out of the ocean. Section 2, the wager for a horse. And yeah, this was way more than just a friendly disagreement. The sisters made a bet, and the stakes were, well, they were absolutely devastating. Okay, so here's the bet. Super simple. Vinata says the horse is perfectly white. Kadru argues, no, it's got a black tail. That's it. But the wager? The loser becomes the other's slave for life. I mean, we're talking about total freedom on the line here. It's insane. Next up, a deception refused. Because with slavery on the line, you can bet Kadru was determined to win no matter what it took. And this right here, this is the moment a simple bet turns into a full-blown moral crisis. So here's exactly how it went down step by step. First, Kadru, totally desperate not to lose, orders her 1,000 sons, who are the Nagas, these divine serpents, to go and cheat. She's like, go become black hairs on the horse's tail so I win. But then, step 2, they refuse. They actually stand up to her and say, no, we're not going to do this deceitful thing. And that leads to step 3. In a blinding rage at their defiance, she just unleashes that absolutely fatal curse on every single one of them. All right, section 4, the gods approve. Now get ready, because this is where the story takes a really stunning turn. You'd think, okay, the gods are going to step in now, right? Punish a mother for this monstrous curse. But nope, they did the exact opposite. They actually approved of it. Turns out the highest of all the gods, Brahma himself, was watching this whole family drama go down. And he wasn't just seeing an angry mom. No, he saw the hand of fate, He saw how this very personal fight was actually being used for a much bigger cosmic plan. So why would they approve? Well, from their perspective, the reason was pretty straightforward. The serpent race, they were just getting way too powerful. For starters, they were multiplying like crazy. They were also super poisonous, incredibly fast and strong, and, well, they were vicious. They were becoming a real threat to all of creation. The gods basically saw them as a plague that needed to be dealt with. I mean, the justification is just chilling. The idea that their own mother's curse was for the good of the rest of creation. From this high-up divine point of view, Kadru's horrible act wasn't just cruelty. It was a necessary evil. It was this brutal, cosmic-level plan to, keep the population in check. Section 5, Fate and a Father's Grief. So the curse is a go. The gods have stamped their approval. But what about the father, the great sage Kashyapa? You can only imagine his grief was just immense. And once again, it's Brahma, the creator, who steps in. He goes to Kashyapa, but not to take back the curse. Oh no, that ship has sailed. That was sealed by fate. He was there to try and offer, well, some kind of comfort, some kind of explanation for it all. And just listen to what Brahma tells him. Do not grieve, for the burning of the race of serpents was written long ago. He's basically saying, look, this was always going to happen. It was preordained. Kadru's anger, her kids standing up to her, that was all just fate's way of making sure what was written in the stars actually came to pass. Now, as a small consolation prize, I guess, Brahma gives Kashyapa a gift.
He teaches him the vidya, which is a word for secret knowledge or science, of how to make an antidote for snake bites. Now, this wouldn't save his sons from the fire, not at all, but it was a small mercy, something that could at least protect others from the serpent's venom down the line.
So that's where we're left, with this really fascinating question. Was this whole thing just a story about a mother's awful temper over a silly bet, or was it this grand cosmic event that was destined to happen all along? It really makes you think, doesn't it? At what point does a personal choice stop being yours and just become a pawn in some bigger game being played by fate?